Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
We are back with the Shack Attack. What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
I'm welcoming you guys to welcome against. Look at me, welcome against the current. Could it be that I'm getting older?
Yes. Listen, we're gonna dive into this, man.
Walking against the current is what I meant.
So listen, tonight's episode is walking against the current as always. We are back today. Today is a special day. It's like a holiday, you know what I'm saying? Today is my mother's 54th birthday.
Yes, 54 years young.
Yes, 54
Healthy,
years young.
strong, beautiful. I'm affirming myself.
That's right. So tonight's topic is going to be 54 lessons in 54 years.
Oh,
Listen, that's a blessing, man. Many people don't make it to the age of 54. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to have my mother here. You know, we have an audience in the room, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying, live, tuned in, watching us tonight. It's a blessing to have all you out here watching us with us, you know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
But yeah, it's definitely a blessing to have my mother as my business partner and to be able to see her make it to 54 years and many more years beyond that.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
So listen, we're not going to be on here long because we have some surprises tonight for Mom Dukes, but we want to always be consistent, as we always mention. Want to be consistent, want to make sure we coming on here, every single Monday, if time permits, things permit as well. So we want to keep you guys too long tonight. We want to ask Mom some questions tonight and hope that you all that's watching can engage into the topic of 54 lessons in 54 years. How'd that sound?
I like it. I was like, dare you say that on live?
So listen, today Mom turned 54, right? As she says, she's getting younger every single year, every single day. So I want to ask you an icebreaker question.
All right, I'm gonna take a deep breath. Okay.
What's something people would be surprised to know about you at 54?
Oh man, that's
I
a
know.
good one. All right, I am a huge cartoon watcher. Like I am stuck in the 70s in a lot of ways. Like I watched Flintstones and Tom and Jerry, like that's like my love. And I also love Little House on the Prairie. Like I'm stuck in that era. So I love that.
Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, you love that show.
I do. Because it represents kind of sort of what I think life should look like. Simplicity, family, and just valuing family lessons and sticking together. Oops, hold on, my little thing is coming down. Sticking together and as a family. And they didn't have a whole lot, but they had each other. And I just love the way the woman's role was played, and I also love the way the man's role was played.
Yeah, that's powerful. And as I shared today, many people don't know my mother had me when she was 20, 21
21.
when you had me.
Yeah.
A young mother, in New York. And, I watched my mom through many years, work several jobs. She's always taken jobs to where she could be available for her kids. That was important to me, as a young man, to know that if I had any issues, if I had any problems with school, or if I got any trouble, best believe Mom was coming to the school.
Absolutely.
To rectify, good or bad.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was important to me. Like I've always told you guys that some people chase, education, which I am a huge on that you should. But I also felt like, I could do both.
Yeah.
I felt like I could be available to you guys and at the same time get my education too. So I made my schedule that way so that, working in the schools, I was able to still be available to you guys always. And that was really important to me because I understood the education system. I understood that if you was an absent parent, unfortunately, people took advantage of that. And I knew that I had to be a voice for my kids.
Yeah.
And a voice I was.
Yes, you was.
Yes.
Look, people know not to play with Elizabeth T. Williams.
You better believe that.
When she came walking through them school doors, they knew what time it was.
They absolutely did. It was like, oh, Lord, what did we do now,
And then when they realized there was more of us, they thought it was just me. I was like, wait, there's more of y'all?
That's the funny thing about it. I won't mention any names, but I went to a game one night to support my daughter, and Lawrence, by that time you had graduated, so I guess the school was like, "Yes, he's gone. I don't have to deal with that crazy lady." And
Well, he wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying?
and well, see, Lawrence was always he was very vocal, like I was. You know, I taught my kids how to be vocal and don't just stand for anything. And although I respect educators and I respect teachers and everyone, and I made sure that you guys did too. One of the main things was you question things. You don't just accept what someone tells you, especially if you felt like it was wrong. And boy, I didn't have to tell Lawrence that twice. He would question everything, but he always did it with respect. They never could hang him with disrespect.
That's right.
And the matter of fact, they couldn't hang. Well, I had one that was a little. I won't mention no names out of my four, but yeah. But either way, whenever I went to a game and the principal saw me, he was like, what are you doing here? I was like, I have a few more kids. He was like, oh, okay.
He thought it was over with.
He thought it was over with. It was like, oh, he graduated.
There's more of us.
That's right.
And that was the thing. And that's important because, everybody don't know what it means to be vocal, what it means to know how to express yourself respectfully.
Absolutely.
And my mother always taught me to always make sure, do not give nobody a reason. Don't give them an excuse to hang you. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like, make sure you are where you're supposed to be. Make sure your grades look good.
That's right.
Make sure you dressing properly. Don't have your pants off your butt. And you know what I'm saying? So all of those key factors that she taught me, when I questioned my teachers or the admin staff, and it was within reason, right?
Definitely within reason.
Not just being a butthole or being anal. It was definitely pause. It was definitely something that it was definitely something that I did within reason and respect. And anytime I did it, they couldn't say, "Oh well, he's failing" or "he's this, he's that." I always had A's and B's because if I came home with a C, I brought home a C one time, and she took my car.
Yeah, listen, because he's too smart for that. I was like, as a mother, you know your kids.
I'm like, I got a C.
No.
They say C's and D's get degrees.
Well, it does, but it wasn't acceptable.
Listen, I could not have no C's in this household.
No.
But it taught me how to have.
I'm gonna tell a story. One of the things that I would tell my kids, and they hated this, and I probably can start it and he can finish it. I would say, "What would the slaves do?"
What would the slaves do?
Because whenever he would say he couldn't, I'm like, "Oh yes, you can. You absolutely could." They would walk from state to state, and they would, go through all types of adversities, and they did it because they wanted to get what they wanted to get, and that was freedom. So here you are having an opportunity to get your education, and now you want to make excuses. No, we're not going for that.
Yeah, she would always say, "What would the slaves do?" And I took Spanish. I took Spanish class, and I'm struggling in Spanish, And she'd be like, "What? You struggling? What would the slaves do? They walk from New York to California. You know what I'm saying? With the bastards on their head and this." But to this day, that analogy still resonates with me. When I was in school, grad school, different hard programs, right? Even in police academy, different things I was in that was really tough. I would ask myself, what would the slaves do?
Right, how bad you want it.
How bad you want it, because think about those times, they didn't have an option.
Right.
They could not say no.
Right.
It was life or death. So she was like, what would the slaves do? Because they had no option. So if you put things in your life like you have no option, you'll get it done.
Absolutely get it done. And that was the one thing that I wanted to teach you. And you was a good student, but one thing I've always admired about Lawrence, and really all of my kids, they questioned things, but that was something that was taught. They did a lot of questioning. And so sometimes when teachers would say, "Oh, I need you to come to the school because Lawrence did this or one of the other children did that." It's like, okay, sure. What time? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be there. And so I remember in particularly coming there for a meeting one time, and they said that Lawrence failed a class. I said, "Well, let me see it."
Mm-hmm.
I said, show me. And the principal looked at the teacher and was like, and I was like, "Pull it out. Let me see it." She couldn't produce it.
That's right.
And I said, "Well, then I'm not accepting that."
Don't play with me.
Because he never failed a class. It was like,
Ever.
he fails a class. No, let me see that book.
Never.
You know what I mean?
Never.
They couldn't produce it. So, as a parent, and I encourage parents today to be an advocate for your kids.
Gotta be.
Don't just believe, and I'm not disrespecting teachers out there because I would have 100%. Anybody for that matter. If you know your child, then you fight for your child. Because nobody else is going to know him like you know him.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? So I remember one time a teacher told me that my youngest son hit a teacher. Talking about Sammy.
Oh, come on.
Now, and I said, he put it in the email. He said, oh yeah, I want you to know he hit me. And I know my son. And I'm like, oh, he did. I said, okay, I need you to give me some more details.
Right.
I need details. You know, that's not going to fly with me. Give me some details. And then he said, oh, he accidentally threw a piece of paper in the garbage pail and it hit me. See the difference?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the first email, he hit me. The second email, when I said I need details, it went from he threw a paper in the garbage and it hit me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm coming up to school now. I don't appreciate that.
And that's why it's so important, parents, that you have to be advocates for your kids.
Absolutely.
You know? Like I said, my school knew, that anytime I had an issue and I was calling Elizabeth T. Williams, they knew what time it was. They didn't play.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, we didn't give them no reason. Like, they couldn't produce all this stuff of, oh, he got suspended. Oh, he's in ISS. Oh, he was fighting. Oh, he was smoking weed. Oh, he was drinking. And you know what I'm saying? They couldn't produce nothing.
No, they couldn't do that.
They were saying, Lawrence was a talk. You know, I was a chatterbox. I was always talking. I was always talking, always laughing in class. But they couldn't give the generic stereotypes that a lot of times they want to label certain kids.
Right. And one of the things I always told my kids, and I encourage you guys to do it, is like, let me fight your battles.
Yeah.
Don't you try to fight your battle, because you are still a child. So that means you don't get disrespectful with an adult. Mm-hmm. Even if that adult disrespects you, trust me, I'm going to handle that. You know what I mean? Take notes if you have to take notes, so that you can remember. So that when I get there, I got my ammunition.
Yeah, she always told me take notes.
Take notes.
Listen, I'll be in class. Because see, back then we didn't have all these iPhones, and we didn't have a note section. So we had sidekicks, and we had Nokias, and razors. The razor phone. Remember the razors, y'all?
Oh my God!
Remember the razors?
Wow.
So like, I would have to literally take out my paper and write notes, date and time.
That's right.
Time stamping. Okay, she said this, he said that. So when we got to meetings, my mother always tell me, listen, now we in the meeting, I'm here with you. It's me, you, the principal, the assistant principal, and the teacher saying that you did X, Y, and Z. You talk. Tell them what's going on.
Yeah, because they always try to get you to not come.
Right.
They was like, oh, Lawrence doesn't have to be here. Oh, no. He has to be here.
Exactly.
He has a voice for himself. He definitely has to be here. And always get familiar with your school handbook as well.
That's right. Listen, that's what I'm saying. Y'all want to know where this come from? You know what I'm saying? This is, you know what I mean? Play a little song for her.
Hey.
That's where this come from. But nah, for real. She always makes sure she read the student handbook. She always told me to make sure.
And the staff handbook, too.
And the staff handbook. Always make sure that, don't give them a reason to hang you. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
Always make sure you're taking notes. And make sure you speak up in the meeting. Don't get in the meeting and now be shy boy.
No, don't do that.
What's it called? Shy brother. Don't get in there and be shy brother. Now you can't talk. You know what I'm saying? Be able to articulate yourself and speak up for yourself, because this is your platform.
Absolutely.
This is why we're meeting, for us to have the dialogue. Don't get in here and get quiet and get,
And don't let them intimidate you, because I'm here. Look them straight in the eye and speak. I mean, and we had some challenges with all 4 of my kids, but trust and believe, if I felt it was strong enough, if they was wrong, then I would say. I had my daughter Mimi, she would always laugh in class out loud. We all would laugh, that's just our thing, but I went one time. Mimi did one thing, and she's probably, if she's listening, hopefully she is. She was like, I was like, Mimi is shy, and people were picking on her, and the whole team looked at each other and was like, Mimi shy? The same girl that was on the desk laughing, laying back on the table. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah, that's Mimi.
But the bottom line is, you just have to be an advocate for your kids, and you have to know your kids. I mean, that's key.
That's right.
All right. So listen, I'm a cartoon watcher, so that's what I say.
Listen, we went down that memory lane because I want you guys to understand who is sitting next to me. You know what I'm saying? People be asking me a lot of times, man, how do you get the way you are? I be like, from my mother, from my father, from my grandparents, from the community.
That's right.
It takes a village, everybody. But like I said, my mom had me young at 21 years old, so we grew up a lot as friends as I got older. But I never crossed the boundaries.
No, he doesn't cross the boundaries. To this day, he doesn't even cuss in front of me. And sometimes
I don't cuss at all.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. But he's very respectful. But I know, I got an audience in the room, and somebody's lifting up their eyebrows right now.
Only if you play with me.
But it's important to give your kids an identity. That was one of the things that I think a lot of times as African Americans, we don't get an identity. And me being a young mother, I know we spoke about this before. I wanted him to have an identity, all of my kids. So you have to be purposeful. What's another word they use today other than purposeful? Attentional. That's the word that everybody says.
Yeah,
you have to be attentional, and meaning that you have to go out and get books that look like your children. You know what I mean? Because when I asked my son when he was maybe 2 or 3, because all my kids were smart. I gotta say they're blessed.
That's right.
But I have to say that when he told me at 3, when I asked him what does a princess look like, and you described it as having, I think, orange hair or yellow hair, long, and that's what he considered a beautiful princess to look like. I was like, oh no, because I don't have no yellow hair, and I don't have no, and I'm not taking away that you are beautiful if you do, but you needed to know what you need to see me as beautiful. You need to see other African American women as beautiful. So I was very intentional in making sure I made sure he got books with people that looked like him and myself, which was very powerful.
Yeah.
Towards in his understanding of who he was as a man and all of my kids and their identity.
Yeah, and as a young mother, and I said again, tonight's episode is about mom, but the thing is, as a young man, my mom used to. Because remember, we didn't have a car always. We took the bus, we took the train up in New York, and she used to take us to museums in Manhattan, African museums, a lot of Black history museums. So that was a blessing to be able to experience that, to be exposed to that, because like she said, when I was that age, because of what you saw in society, saw on TV, I thought what was beautiful to me as a young Black man was a white girl with blonde hair, blue eyes, you know what I'm saying?
But that was every Disney movie, right?
Right,
Up until Princess and the Frog, there was never a Black princess.
Right.
So, I mean, there was no Princess and the Frog when you was a child.
Right.
So, at that time, every princess you saw in the Disney movies, and we love Disney movies, the Little Mermaids and so forth and so on, they all had this long, beautiful, orange, yellow, Black hair, but you didn't just see anybody that was brown skin like you that you could identify with. So, I had to make sure we taught that you can go to those museums and see the pharaohs, the princesses, and different things of that such that was the truth, not the Disney movie, which was absolutely the truth, so that you understand that you come from a huge dynasty, a huge culture, that you would understand who your worth as a African American man, that you can identify with seeing people that look like mom that was beautiful. And there were people in the book that actually looked like me. Because before that, the only person that looked like me to him was the Pine Sol lady. I was like, what? And he would say, "Mama," when that commercial would come on. And I was like, wow, okay. And I mean, I do clean up a lot, but Jesus,
Oh, that is funny.
You remember that
funny.
now?
Yeah, I do.
He always calls me the Pine Sol lady because that's who, when he looked at TV, that was somebody that looked like me, I guess, in his eyes as a child.
Yeah, somebody cleaning up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm freaking Pine Sol lady.
And it had to be a plus size lady with braids too, you know what I mean? That's what
funny.
I looked like back then. I mean, I did have the braids too, so it was pretty
crazy.
decent,
But again, it goes back to what people identify with.
Absolutely.
From what they see. And another highlight that you did that was really profound, and I have my kids doing it when they start doing these type of projects, if they still do it nowadays with school. Every time we had to do like a project, you always had me do someone that was monumental in the Black community.
Absolutely.
From your Malcolm X's to your Mansa Musas, anybody that was profound, because you wanted me to learn about it. Remember the Black Panther one?
Yes.
She made me watch the Black Panther. She made me watch Malcolm X and different kind of movies to really understand, who you are, as a Black man.
Where you came from.
Where you come from.
The struggle is real.
Right. The struggle, the culture, all those things that I had to watch, as a young boy.
Yes. There were so many inventions that children in the schools don't teach. I mean, to this day, they're still coming out with them. Here we are in 2025, and if you look on certain mainstream media, they'll say, "Did you know certain such, did this? Did you know such and such did that?" It's still not really taught in mainstream education.
Right.
And the way things are going now, it may never be taught in mainstream. So to me, it was my job to make sure that I would research. I would go out and buy books. I still got those books too. I would go out and buy books, and I would look up, African American inventors and things like that. So when it was time for my kids to do their projects, we would fish through those books, and he could choose which one he wanted to do and expound on. So now he had something that he knew the name, then we can look it up. And back then, it was no internet like it is today. You had your encyclopedias, you had different books you had to look and then get the research. I think you did the one on the soul one time with the shoe.
The shoe with the soul.
So how, that person that invented that. And those were the things that helped you to understand that we was relevant. We did a lot that wasn't being told to our children. And that was not going to be acceptable for my kids. They were going to know that we put a footprint here in America as well.
That's right. And that same thought process, that same pattern, I have it now adopted with my children.
Absolutely.
I make them watch certain movies now just for them to understand who they are, because I did the same thing that you did with me.
Oh, Sarafina. You let the kids watch Sarafina, which was profound
Sarafina.
on apartheid and things like that in South Africa.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Because, my kids had the same thought pattern. Keela, Leah, when she was young, I had them go to the store one day to Walmart and pick out a baby doll. And they both picked out the same type of doll, to include Junior. It wasn't a doll, but it was like a male type of toy.
Right.
And they always picked a color that did not identify with them.
Right. Right.
And again, it's not to say that, nobody's being racist or
no.
Stuff. It's just that it's important for people to understand who they are, whose they are, where they come from, and where they're going.
Absolutely.
Because if you know where you come from, it's going to affect where you're going.
What a beautiful thing that you had, that that you was exposed to, like in New York. One of my best friends was Caucasian. Mm-hmm. Okay, and my other best friend was Puerto Rican. So you was around diversity.
A lot of diversity.
Period. So there was no room for racism. Mm-hmm. And everybody in our life encouraged it. As a matter of fact, shout out to my girlfriend April. She had interracial children, and I always admired her because when she would buy her daughter, shout out to my goddaughter Day Day, when she would buy her daughter Barbie dolls, she bought every nationality. Mm-hmm. So that her daughter had something to identify with. She didn't just buy her the blonde hair, blue eye Barbie. Her daughter was, interracial. So she would buy every nationality that she could find. And then she would ask her daughter which one looks like her. And she would always pick the one that looked like her. And so it just shows you how kids, how they see themselves.
That's right.
So it's just important to expose your children to both.
That's right.
To both. To culture, period.
It's so important, man. Golly, it's so important. So that's who helped me
That laid the foundation of who he is.
The man I am today.
Yes.
Why I'm so strong in my beliefs. Why I don't just lay down for anybody, pause to walk over me. And I'm young like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of men that's older could be intimidated by that, and even men that's younger. Because it's like, why is this? I had men ask me that. Why you like this? Why you sold this? Why you sold that? I'm like, because I'm not taking it. Y'all can sit and take that. But I'm not taking that. You gotta know how to articulate yourself and speak up for yourself on certain situations. Because if you don't, people will walk all over you every single chance they get.
And you can't afraid to walk away.
No.
You can't afraid to say, you know what? If you're not going to respect me and respect what I believe in, then I have to walk away. Even sometimes when it costs you financially. But you have to trust and know the God that you serve.
That's right.
And once you know the God that you serve and you know that he's your source, and you're not out of pocket and you're not walking in sin and unforgiveness and all the other stuff that we talked about on this podcast, you understand that he's your source and you're standing up for what is right. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then you know that he got you. He got your back.
That's right. So listen, we're going to jump to some questions about the decades.
Oh, okay. When you say it like that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm 33. So that's 3 decades.
Yeah, he's catching up with me.
You know
okay.
what I'm saying? 33, 54. That's crazy.
I know. Thank you.
So listen, we're gonna go back. How the song go? What we're gonna do is go back.
Way back.
Back in the time, you know what I mean?
Oh, I got lightheaded. Okay.
So listen. So we're gonna go. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back from age 0 to 10.
Oh man, okay.
Age 0 to 10, right? What's a lesson you learned as a child that still sticks with you today?
What's a lesson that I learned from the age 0 to 10 as a child? To appreciate my skin color. And I'll say that because I said this before and I'll say it again. One of the things, and people still say it to this day, which it's mind blowing to me.
Wait, before you say it, let me guess. Do they say you're beautiful for a dark skinned woman?
Yes. And somebody told me the other day I'm beautiful for a black woman. They literally
Wow.
just said the word black. I was like, I want to say thank you,
I don't know what to say.
that was the first lesson I learned as a little girl. And that's one of the reasons why I think I built my foundation on making sure my children, who are all beautifully chocolate melanated people, and I just wanted to have my children nice and dark and melanated. The science behind melanin, we ain't going to get into that because
Right.
they got a whole bunch of that.
I know.
So I think that was one of the things I learned, because from 0 to 10, and even now, but it seemed like back then was even more. Whenever I would go somewhere, that was what I would hear when they wanted to give me a compliment. And my counterparts, my cousins and stuff, they wouldn't say the same thing to them. They might say they were beautiful, but they wouldn't add the "for the dark skinned girl" thing. So I think those were the early little chips that fell into my mind that made me say, okay, I want to make sure that I have my children, that they just know that they're beautiful, not just because of their skin color. They're beautiful inside and out. That was my life lesson growing up. I heard that way too much growing up.
Yeah, same. And to this day, I still hear that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All throughout, from that same age, even in, elementary school, middle school, high school, I've always heard, oh yeah, Lawrence, he cute for a black boy.
Right.
Or he cute to be dark. Or he cute to be. I'm like, why does he have to be cute?
Right. Just can't be cute.
But why do we have to always throw in the complexion in there?
And those are those identity things that wasn't taught by their parents. And this is what we're doing today on Walking Against the Current, to teach you. So if you do that, because I think some people do it unconsciously.
Yeah.
They're not even trying to offend you. They're actually really giving you a compliment in their mind. They really are. I mean, the person that said that to me, they was really giving me a compliment.
I'd be like, have y'all read Willie Lynch letter?
Yeah. We might have to go through that one day up here. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, people got to know.
Yeah, you have to
Some
know.
people just don't know.
They don't. I think they say it. It's been, there's just certain things that's been taught and said so much that people think it's an appropriate thing to say.
Right.
You just can't be beautiful. You know what I mean? So from 0 to 10, I heard that so much. And I remember thinking, like, questioning that, even as a little girl, like, why do you always say that to me? You know what I mean? Why can't I just be cute like everybody else?
Right.
So that's my 0 to 10.
Okay. Well, let's jump into your teenage and young adult.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. What did you learn about friendships, choices, or mistakes during those years?
What was the ages?
This 11 through 20.
Ooh.
What did you learn about friendships, choices, or mistakes during those years?
I met my core friends during that age group. I met my core friends. My mother taught me a life lesson when I was in junior high school. That's what we call it, middle school down here, but junior high school in New York.
That's right.
And I was messing up, bottom line, sleeping in class and, just doing what I was doing. Be transparent. And at that time, you had to pass statewide tests.
Mm-hmm.
And so I passed all my statewide tests, thank God, you know what I mean? So I had some brains,
Right. Yeah.
but I did not pass my core classes. So the school at the time gave my mom a choice to either allow me to go on to the next grade or allow me to take the classes again. And of course, mom said, you know what? She didn't pass those core classes. She's going to get left back. Talk about depressed. I was so depressed that I literally slept that whole summer.
Meanie.
I think I slept that whole.
My grandma here.
Yeah.
Watching.
She didn't realize that, it did teach me something, I think. But, in terms of just making sure you do your best in school, of course. But I met my best friends because I got left back. So it was profound. So that's the year I met my girlfriend Angie, my girlfriend Lynetta, my girlfriend Tara. These are my core friends, and it's a result of me getting left back. So I mean, they met me sleeping in art class. That didn't stop me from sleeping in class, getting left back, because I was depressed. So all my friends was getting ready to graduate, and so I slept, and they was like, "Why are you always sleeping? Why she's always sleeping?" And finally, I woke up, and we became friends. So that was those life lessons.
That's profound. So what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Oh man, I think I would say if my kids are sleeping, if I was sleeping, then I would want to know why was you sleeping so much. I think if I had to pick it apart now, if you have a child that's always in the room sleeping, you might need to ask that child what's going on. So I think that to be more present, and try to understand why I was sleeping so much.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So now we're going to shift to ages 21 to 30.
Ooh, okay. By this time, I got 2 kids. Okay.
Right. 21 to 30 now.
Okay.
We shifting. All right. So becoming a young mom and an adult now, right? Because now we're 21 to 30 years old. What's the biggest lesson about responsibility you had to learn the hard way?
The fun was over to a certain extent at that time. When you become a mom, you know, I knew I'm responsible for somebody else, not just myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to absolutely learn. I haven't said that word in a long time, absolutely. But I had to absolutely learn that I have somebody and somebody's now with my daughter Cece there that's depending on me. So my life shifts now. Now I'm married. Now I'm a mom of 2 children. And now I have to be responsible for my kids. So the drinking, the partying is not as much anymore. Now it's about making sure you guys are in school, making sure you're reading, making sure I'm present for you guys. Because now, as my mother said to me when I was growing up, this is your red wagon. You can push it or pull it, but it's yours. That never left my mind because my children were my red wagon. So either I'm going to just push it and do nothing or pull it and do nothing. But at the end of the day, it was my responsibility. So from 21 to 27, married, I had to be a wife. I just had real life challenges now. And it was it was time for me to get serious. And I was very serious as a young mother. Yeah. I was very serious. I mean, I'm not going to say I stopped completely partying. Check it out. I didn't stop completely, but I definitely wasn't doing it the way I was before.
Yeah. That's a good question, though, when I thought about it, because like even with me, you know, 21 to 30, I'm 33. You know, a lot of stuff transpired in my 20s, you know, from, you know, getting married young, having children young, and, you know, being in school, buying a house, being homeless. I mean, so many things happened in my 20s that I feel like happening for a lifetime for somebody else. You know?
Right.
You know, so that's good. That's profound. Let's see. Okay. So let's jump to 31 through 40. Okay. Because I know today's your birthday, so I don't want to keep you on here too long because we got to cut some cake and eat some ice cream.
Oh, boy.
And I also have a little gift for you.
Oh, good. All right. I love gifts. That's one of my love languages. Gifts. If you're listening out there, my special gifts.
So now at 31 through 40, right? During this time, we have now, well, you moved out here when we was 32, right?
Yeah, 32, 33, yeah.
So now at this time, we have transitioned from being in New York, moving to South Carolina. So now you're finding your voice.
Right.
So at this age of 31 through 40, what shaped you most in your 30s? Was it career, motherhood, or faith? Like, what shaped you the most in your 30s?
Definitely was faith, because now I'm in my 30s. I mean, not that I didn't have a relationship with God. I did. But now I really have a relationship with God because I found a good church. So finding a good church and a good pastor really changed me a lot in terms of my understanding of the Word of God. So in this particular age group, I found that church. I actually had another child, and I started a business. And at this point, I'm still married. So I think finding my footing with my spirituality was strong during this age group. I had a good understanding, good teaching, and I really now started to lean on God more and not myself. I definitely now knew that I didn't have to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. I had a father that was going to be there for me, and I understood the principles of the Bible now. So I had, oh my God, that was life changing when I knew I can cast my burdens on him. I can go to him. I had a man of God that I can speak to. I was running my business. So I think the most pivotal thing that I can say in this particular age group was finding and developing a personal relationship with God.
That's profound.
Yes.
I like that. So I got so many questions, but I want to keep it short. So let's jump to 41 through 50, because I know you got a lot of funny or challenging stories between the age group of 31 through 40, right?
Yeah, I had my 40th birthday party. You still got those videos.
I do. I do.
Oh man!
And I may post some on here.
You better not.
All right, so let's go to 41 through 50, right? What did you learn about leadership? at home, in the community, or just anything during this season of your life?
Definitely learned that I didn't need anybody's approval at this point. I understood that authenticity in myself mattered most to me. So it was no longer trying to be a people pleaser. I didn't need anybody to tell me what I needed to do. I knew what I needed to do, because by this point I made a decision to divorce after 25 years. So I didn't need anybody's approval anymore other than God himself. But other than that, I knew I was now moving into a serious new chapter of my life where I was going to take control of my life. By the time I was 50, basically my children were pretty much everybody was grown.
Yeah.
So now it was like, okay, now it's my turn. I've given all my life to you, Mike, and I still do. But I mean, it was now like it's my turn now to do some of the things that I want to do, and start my dreams and do things like that. So I think I understood now that I didn't need nobody else's approval. I was now going to start making a serious decision to find my happiness.
Yeah. Well, are you happy now?
I'm very happy now. I'm very happy.
That's good. That's a blessing.
Yes.
It's a blessing to be happy, because
Yes.
that's a choice. Everybody's not happy.
Man, that's something that I can teach now. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes we stay in situations for the wrong reasons.
Ooh, yeah. Difficult to teach on that.
Yeah.
So now let's jump to the wisdom years, as Martin would say, wisdom, W-M, But now, the wisdom years, 51 through 54. What lessons have the last few years taught you that you wished you had known earlier?
Take risk. Do not be stagnant. I think that's the lesson that people need to really learn. And I'm still learning that what you want to do in life, do it.
That's
and
right.
Don't be afraid of failing, because if you fail, that's one thing. But fear is just temporary, but regret is forever.
That's deep. And the one thing I listen to all the time that was so profound, I think Les Brown said it, that it was a guy who was on his deathbed, and surrounded by him was the ghost of his dreams and his future.
Oh, man.
And
It's a movie like that.
And the ghost told him, it was like, we was assigned to you.
Ooh.
Right? But because of your lack of faith, because of your lack of belief, because of you listen to everybody else, because
Right.
you didn't go after those dreams and goals, because you was fearful,
Right.
now we have to die with you.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm
Take
saying?
the risk.
Take the risk. And it's so profound to hear my mother talk like this, because y'all don't understand. This lady here is all about education, and the thought process before was always, get a good education, go to school, get a good job, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But to now hear her talk about
Take a risk.
taking risk and starting businesses, and we want to start something so profound. We ain't gonna
Yes.
talk about it, but we got something that is about to be huge.
Yes.
That we're starting. That's going to be very, very
Game changer.
game changer for sure. And we're going to probably get it sometime next month.
Yes.
Next week. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a big one. Taking a what?
Taking the
A
risk.
risk.
But it's going to produce.
It's going to produce.
It's going to produce. And it's
Because
going to
fear
change.
is temporary and regret lasts forever. So take
That's right.
risk now.
That's right. And this is going to change the trajectory of what we got going on.
Yes.
But I'm proud to hear her talk like that.
Yeah, and I learned that from you, to be honest. I will say, because I am not a risk taker in the past. He's correct. I'm about, I need to just feel my feet. I don't want no quicksand. You know what I mean? I like the foundation on my feet. Whereas Lawrence can sink, he'll get back up. He might sink, he'll get back up. And I'm like, I don't want to sink. But now I'm like, what the crap? What? I don't want to say the other word.
Yeah, because we don't cuss.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, you realize you only have one life.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? You only have one life on
right.
this earth.
That's right.
Why do we play games with this thing we call life? You know what I'm saying? We play
Right.
games, but for real.
You do.
So it's like we have to be able to take risks and take chances and, be willing to fail. You only got to win one time.
That's right. You say that again.
You only have to win one time.
Wow.
So I don't care how many times. I'm not afraid to fail.
No, you're not. And I'm telling you,
You know?
he done bled over here now. You know, I'm all bloody now. Now I'm taking risks. I'm tired
That's
of this
right.
crap. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that's what I would encourage people. It's amazing how you went down that timeline, how you change over the years. Because there was
right.
a time I would not have taken risk.
I know.
So yeah,
I know.
And that's another thing that you can learn from each other. Like I learn from my grandkids. There's so much that they teach me with technology now. So always be open to learn. And don't be so prideful that you can't learn from your children. Because if you pay attention, these youngs, what's your generation called now?
So we are the millennials.
Okay, millennials are doing things.
Yeah.
And they are risk takers. So I'm learning from them. I'm not too proud to admit that. I'm like, hey, come over here and teach me a couple of things, But yes.
So let me ask you this about that segment of being 51 to 54, the wisdom years.
Okay.
This is very profound. If you had a billboard all over the world, right? This is your billboard.
Okay.
With one piece of wisdom at 54, what would it say?
Laugh more. Laugh more. Enjoy life's simple pleasures.
Laugh more.
Laugh more.
That's deep.
Laugh more. And cry less. Laugh and just enjoy life's simple pleasures.
That's deep. Laugh more, cry less. Those used to be a saying. Live life, laugh now, cry less, something like that. But anyway,
Right.
that's profound. That's profound. So listen, I want to share top 3 lessons I think I learned from you. And I shared it today when I made my Facebook post. But to definitely love, right? Always walk in love.
Always walk in love.
Always be quick to forgive,
Got to forgive.
right? And always be willing to serve.
You said it. That's what I teach all of my kids. That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Serve, serve, serve.
Those are my top 3 lessons that I learned from my mom. That she drilled, like zzz, like she drilled in our heads. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? And he's teaching my grandkids because my granddaughter's serving us tonight.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
She got no choice. I'm just playing. Thank you for serving, Bushi. Yeah, I coached that on live. So listen, again, happy birthday to my mother. You have given us more than 54 lessons. You've given us a lifetime of love and wisdom. It's an honor to call you my mother, friend, business partner, someone I could call in the midnight hour. Because my mom knows it's been times where,
Mother shed a tear.
I had anxiety.
Yes.
And I call my mom 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and she'll be like, she'll wake up and she'll be like, listen, put on that gospel, put on that gospel
Because of who you are.
because of who you are. And it would calm me down.
Yeah.
It would calm me down. Many times having anxiety attacks, panic attacks, being in the hospital last year, could have died, and grateful for my family, everybody that came up there to be there with me. But it's important for us to cherish our mothers,
Yes,
cherish our fathers, cherish your grandparents, just cherish your family as a whole.
Absolutely. And I wanted to say that too. Thank you for that. This is important. Like, the old school would teach us, give us the flowers while we're here.
Yeah.
Often too many times people wait till somebody gets to somebody's funeral and they sitting down all night to write down a eulogy. You know what I mean? It's like, man, you never said that to that person when they was alive. It's important to speak these words today. So I'm going to speak to my daughter-in-law tonight because me and my son is very close, but she is so patient and she loves me so much. And she understands that our relationship is beyond just mother and son. We're friends as well. And she really does so I want to shout my daughter-in-law out tonight for just being a great, great daughter-in-law. I call her my daughter. I don't even call her daughter-in-law. When she texts me, I'm like, all right, daughter. I got so many daughters now. So I just call her my daughter, and I wanted to give her a shout out because she allows us to have this live, and not loud. I don't want to sound like it's some type of thing, but she's understanding, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
For sure.
So it's about family. So I appreciate those kind words because it means a lot. Because when you're making these sacrifices as a mother, especially a young mom, you know, I always tell my kids I have no regrets in the terms of what I did. Did I make mistakes? Yes. But in terms of my decisions that I made when they were coming up, it was always for the best for them. You know, I'm not saying I always got it right, but for me, I never be that prideful. Like I did it all right. No, I know I made mistakes, and I'm still making mistakes. But when I was making the decisions that I was making for them when they was growing up, it was so that they would have a strong foundation in a love for themselves and a love for others.
Yeah.
And an identity.
Yeah, it means a lot, man. Lynetta put on here, I'm grateful for God for bringing us together. Sis, you don't know what you mean to me and my family. Happy birthday again, Bestie. I love you so much.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. It's my sister right there.
We have some happy birthdays.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Asia, happy birthday from Quashan.
Thank you.
Happy birthdays, happy birthdays, happy birthdays. So, yeah.
See, I need to get my Cash App, knowing my Cash App by heart. I can throw it out there, right? That's the new technology, right? Chapter 54, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Y'all can send it to me, and I'll make sure she get it. Cash App is Jones, Jones, 7182. $ JONES. Lord have mercy. $ JONES 7182. Right? Okay. Jones 7182. So if y'all want to bless Mom Dukes, y'all can Cash at me, and I'll send it to her for sure.
And if they also, maybe next week, I know time is not, we're running out of time, but questions that somebody might want to have, like some decisions they want to make for their life as a mother, I'm always willing. I always tell him, if you have some friends in your life that just need some wisdom, call me, I'm always willing to do that.
Yeah. So how about next week we have an open dialogue of just any advice that you want to ask Elizabeth?
Yes.
Right. I can say that, right? Elizabeth?
You can say that tonight. Yeah, I give you permission.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you have questions that you want to ask and decisions you want to make or, whatever it may be, I'm willing to, I want to do that.
Yeah. Zelle, yeah, Lynetta text me. I could send you my Zelle.
Oh, all right.
My Zelle is my cell, my other cell that everybody don't got. So, I can't put that up there. I don't want everybody calling that phone.
Top secret there.
Yeah, for sure. But nah, definitely thankful for you, grateful for you. Okay. We locked in forever. My mom, I appreciate you. Always there for me. It's just super grateful.
Yes, I'm grateful for you too. And I'm grateful for my other children too. It's just a blessing to grow up and see your children grow up. My daughter called me at 12:05 this morning, my oldest daughter. She woke me up and I was like, hello? She was like, happy birthday. And, my kids are in competition. You know what she said?
What?
She said, I'm going to be the first one to say happy birthday to you. Shout out to my girl, Cece. But check it out. She lived it was only 10 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah, also got a card. Oh, I love cards. Do I do it online? Okay. All right. I'm getting all silly now.
But listen, y'all, we got to go sing happy birthday. We got some cake, some ice cream, some food outside the studio. So we're going to go enjoy some family time for moms.
Hope you guys enjoyed these life lessons. Thank you. That was pretty cool tonight.
We hope you enjoyed it for sure. So listen, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. And y'all have a blessed evening.
Yes. Thank you for joining in.
Here we go.